Welcome back, Wealth Builders. Michael Rosmer here. Excited to be with you as we delve into our subject of today, energy. Okay, so energy is the thing we're going to talk about right now. And you just think about this logically. Okay, I think it was a big breakthrough. There's a book called The Power of Full Engagement. And what they paid attention to was how you would have these executives who were drivers. They'd plan their time very well. Their time management is good, but their energy management isn't. Okay? And so they might get to something, and they have the time, right? They have the time to do this thing that's important to them, but they have no energy to do it. Okay? And so today we're going to be talking, or in this video, we're going to talk specifically about energy. And what things can we do to manage our energy, or what factors do we have so that we can pay attention to maximizing what those are. So just think about this logically. Energy comes from your body, right? Tony Robbins has some really cool stuff in his health program about health as energy, right? So I want lots of energy. What are some things that I need to be mindful of in managing my energy? Okay, and this is a lot of just foundational stuff that I think is going to, if you do these little things, if you manage, it's kind of like the foundation of your life. If you manage the foundation of your life, then it has this broad ripple effect. Okay? So this comes down to basically 5 things that we're going to pay attention to. All right? And so the first of these, this is no particular order, but it's pretty logical, is sleep. Right? If you do not have enough sleep, will that hurt or help your performance? It will absolutely hurt your performance if you do not have enough sleep. So, by the way, this is doing these things right. Okay, so that's what we're kind of talking about right now. So we want to make sure that you get enough sleep, and it's one of the things Brendan Bouchard mentions in one of his programs. He says, sleep an extra hour longer than normal because most people are sleep deprived, and there's a lot of research that shows that when people are sleep deprived, they simply underperform. Okay, you're not even aware of how much you're underperforming, but you're underperforming. So my schedule, and this is not for everybody, this is all for almost nobody. My schedule is ridiculous. I had somebody message me the other day, like, what were you doing up at 3 a.m? I was like, I'm always up at bizarre hours. This is normal. But my philosophy is I go to sleep when I'm tired, and I sleep until I'm not. And it's specifically for this reason. Okay? I feel like when I'm tired, my productivity isn't there anyway. So what's the point in fighting it? I might as well just go to sleep and wake up when I'm more productive. Now, do I always do that? No. Because there's sometimes where pushing, even when and this comes down to planning, which we'll talk about later, pushing through when I'm tired might be worth it because might be somebody else who's waiting on something for me. And so the ripple effect of the team actually is more important than the extra productivity I'm going to get out by sleeping sooner. Okay, so you have to pay attention to these things. But overall, minding your sleep habits. Okay? Getting enough sleep. And so I just figured because I sleep until I'm not tired, my body's telling me I'm ready to go. All right? So that's the first one. What's the second one? This is diet, right? Really, this shouldn't be surprising. Does the food that you eat help to determine how what your energy levels are? Yeah, absolutely. Okay? And, I'm not the nutritional expert of the world. And by the way, anyone who gives you this is the diet is wrong, okay? Diet varies by person, and this should be very self-evident by allergies, okay? For some people, peanuts are fantastic. Other people, peanuts will kill them, okay? Some people, seafood is great. Other people, seafood will kill them, okay? So if you can see that at the macro, then if you kind of scoot down to the micro, do you think people should eat differently? Yes, okay? Diet, what is this going to, and Tony Robbins again has a great thing where he talks about energy, and he says, what is the source of energy? It turns out the source of energy is the cells, and specifically the mitochondria inside the cell. And so, what do cells need in order to be healthy, right? It turns out they need a few key things. They need oxygen, right? Without oxygen, it's kind of this philosophy of as your cells go, so will your health go, right? Makes kind of logical sense. And so what he'll say, okay, well, your cells need oxygen. And they've apparently done research and found that if you give your cells everything that they need, then you're going to be, the cell can live forever. There's no, when they ran this study for like decades, The cells, given what they were needed and not having any external threat, they never found a time when they died. Doesn't mean they will live forever, maybe they wouldn't, but it went on so long as to be irrelevant, okay? Which is very interesting. So, what do they need? They need oxygen. What does this mean for us? If you think about this, and we're going to talk in a minute, well, deep breathing, right? You think about when you're stressed, you have shallow breathing. How does that affect your performance? Negatively, right? You go and do yoga or something, you're doing this deep breathing. How does that affect your performance? Superior, right? Should make a lot of sense. So we need oxygen. And the other thing that goes along with the oxygen, this is kind of a factor into the diet piece, is what happens in your body. You inhale the oxygen, right? Of course, that should be good quality air. You inhale, your red blood cells, it gets absorbed from your lungs into your red blood cells. Your red blood cells carry that oxygen to your cells. So what's the logical conclusion here? If your red blood cells aren't flowing well, then as a result, what's going to happen to your oxygenation of the cells? There's going to be a decrease of it, which is in theory going to hurt your performance. So, a lot of diet and research, etc., like Tony will do, and there's lots of people advocate live blood cell analysis, right? So you can see what's going on with your cells and figure out, okay, are they flowing well, etc., because that's going to affect your performance. Okay, so diet, we have oxygen. What's the next thing that your cells need? Well, they need to be properly hydrated. They need water, okay? So this is about being properly hydrated. Are you drinking enough water every day? Just that one thing, and this is, personal preference. When I get up in the morning, I always drink a bunch of water. How come? Well, I figure most of the time you've been sleeping for like 8 hours, you're probably pretty dehydrated. And you can see that in your urine, right? Your pee comes out and it's, like a more yellowy color, okay? So I need to make sure that I'm getting enough water. If all you do is you say, okay, I'm going to improve my sleep, get my sleep figured out, so that and by the way, sleeping well isn't just the amount of sleep, it's also the quality of sleep, right? So there's quality and quantity. So let's do that. Let's say quality. So, do you have a good mattress, etc.? If it's going to make a difference, that's helpful. Are you sleeping in darkness? Research indicates that people who's sleeping with light on around you, you do not sleep as well. So you'll wear sleep masks, you'll have blackout curtains, etc. So that's quality and then quantity, okay? Both matter. All right, those are a couple things. Now, diet, we mentioned water. I've heard lots of different things about how much water you should have. The consensus, from what I can tell, seems to be have two things to it. That, it's somewhere between 2 and 4 liters a day, and that 2 and 4 liters a day is dependent on, your body mass, okay? So, I haven't, assuming you're not peeing out your electrolytes, I haven't seen anything negative about having 4 liters a day, so it's, maybe worth it to have 4 liters a day. And of course you want good quality water, right? So the reality is the research does indicate that fluoride in your water decreases IQ, okay? There's a whole argument around fluoride and all these different things. What my naturopath has recommended for me, and I don't say that it's necessarily for you, is spring water. Okay, so that's what I typically drink. Some people, tend to have reverse osmosis water, whatever, but you want good quality water and you want enough of it. Okay, so again, quality and quantity. Now, what's the next thing we want? Well, we need nutrition. Okay, now here's an interesting thing. One of the number one systems in our body that consumes energy is digestion. So you'll notice when you eat a big meal, oftentimes your energy levels go way down, okay? There might be an argument for smaller meals, right? More smaller meals. I don't know the answer to that or not. But being aware that certain foods are tougher to digest, right? And this is really, dependent on you. Everyone's, I've gone to see lots of different experts, and, the story is everyone's laboratory, that's, their body, is different. Okay, your genes are different, your epigenetics is different, the hormones, etc. Like the state of your body right now is different, okay? So you want to make sure that you're getting the right nutrition, and you should consult an expert to find out what that is for you. By the way, most conventional doctors are not experts on that, so don't go to one of them. Go to somebody who has like a real understanding of nutrition and can do it targeted for you. So there should be some sort of analysis. There's I don't even know what the specialty is, but I know there's a doctor locally, he runs a lot of blood tests, runs all sorts of different tests on you to figure out what's important for you. And this is probably, an important journey ongoing. But again, you want to have the right quantity and quality of food, right? Generally, fresh food is better. Pretty much the consensus is processed food is not really very good for you, right? The fresher, and by fresh, I don't mean exactly fresh, but I mean picked at the right spot, because the interesting studies also show that frozen vegetables and fruits often have better nutritional value in them than ones that you get at the store fresh, because they were able to be picked at the time when they were perfectly ripe. So in talking to various different biologists, etc., what I've been told is when foods are not picked at their optimal ripeness, the benefits you get from them are minimized. Okay, you can have lots of discussions about GMOs and organic. From what I can tell, there isn't a lot of good data on that, and to try and generalize is not so effective. So, go see some experts. You'll have to buy into some theory or another. Some people find a more vegetarian diet works best for them. Some people find that, a more meat-filled diet works best for them. Okay? Some people find that, as an example, my mother is gluten intolerant. Okay, so gluten is not good for her. The research I've read suggests that, there's about 1% to 3% of the population for whom that's true, and for a lot of people it's not true. Okay? But the whole point is, pay attention to your nutrition. If you get nutrition right, you're going to be far and away ahead of somebody who didn't get nutrition right. Okay? And in general, your energy levels are going to go up, which is going to mean your performance is going to go up, which is good, right? What's the next thing that we have aside from diet? We have exercise. You'll hear a lot of people, Richard Branson makes this comment, that when I started working out, my performance at work went up. Okay? Getting regular exercise is going to go a long ways. And it goes a long ways in several different regards. For example, your body, if you're always sitting, like I tend to do a lot of sitting in front of a computer, etc., that's going to negatively affect my posture, which is going to have negative effects. I'm going to have situations where I'm more likely to get cramps, which is going to cause me pain, which is discomfort, which means that I can't sustain long periods of work the same. And so you can go to chiropractors, but really the best thing to do is to use movement to improve your overall health. And the number one highest impact thing you can do is walk for 30 minutes a day. Okay? Research on that shows there's nothing better. Like, it helps your joints, it helps your heart, it helps your cardiovascular system, it helps all these different things. It's a very small thing that you can do that has a high impact. Okay? But definitely regular exercise. Okay? Some people like to be marathoners. The truth is, research shows that long-distance runners, or I think even sprinters too, live an average of like 10 years left. So, from an overall lifespan standpoint, it's not so good, but it might be good for your performance now. I don't know. Okay, so that's the important thing, I think, is we today don't have to move like we did in the past. And if you study research on the brain, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but research on the brain shows that we were evolved to walk, to move. Okay, like that is what happened. Was evolutionarily, we went from quadrupeds to bipods, meaning we walk on 2 feet, which freed up a lot of energy, which was the energy that was allowed the development of the frontal cortex and the brain. Okay, there's a book called Brain Rules you can read where he talks about that. He talks about being on something like a treadmill desk and how this is helpful. Okay, we evolved walking, our brains evolved walking. So we should be getting movement in every day, every single day, not, 3 days a week or whatever. You should be getting some movement in. How intense that movement is, you can have a whole conversation about. Should you go, do whatever. Should you be weightlifting? Should you not? There's probably some merit to it at some level. Who knows? But the whole point is, make sure you get exercise in. Okay? Exercise is very, very important to your overall performance. Okay, and your overall energy levels. If you just don't have, you just think about this again, going back to the whole story of mitochondria and all this. Oh, actually, let's talk about that. Okay. Very, very valuable. So, what happens in your body? We talked a little bit about how, okay, your body needs oxygen. Well, what's one of the pieces of oxygen? It's having a cardiovascular system where, we're able to circulate, our heart is strong, so it's circulating the blood throughout our body, right? And our lungs are strong, so we're working well there, okay? Where does that come from? In large part, that comes from exercise. The other thing is, so we talked about, okay, our body needs oxygen, it needs water, it needs the proper nutrition, so your cells have certain nutrients that they need. Great. What else do they need? Well, one of the big things they need is proper waste elimination, okay? So waste elimination, very, very important to our overall health. Well, you can refer to this in two ways. One is, how do the cells eliminate waste? They eliminate it through our lymphatic system, okay? And unlike our cardiovascular system, which there's a pump, right? Our lymphatic system doesn't have that. So there's actually 3 times as much lymph fluid in your body as blood. And the only way that lymph fluid circulates is through movement, okay? So basically, if you're just sitting there all the time, it's going to hurt you're going to get sick more easily, right? Because your body's not cleansing out these toxins. B, your energy levels are probably not going to be as good, etc. Okay, so very, very important. Make sure you're getting that exercise in, all right? The other piece that goes along with it is from your digestion standpoint, your bowels, right? When your bowels move, that helps with your digestion. It's going to help you to cleanse out. And those, like your body processing toxins is one of the things that's going to drain energy from you, okay? So if our body is cleansed, that's great. And so, some people like to do cleanses every once in a while. My naturopath tells me that you should ideally seasonally rotate your diet, and so there's this kind of natural cleansing process, so we don't have to necessarily do like a, lemon water for 10 days cleanse like some people do. Some people do it. Does it work? I don't know. It's like, you got to be careful with some of that stuff because there's lots of theories and some of the data is not so good, okay? But that being said, there's probably a time and a place for it, okay? What else we got? So we're 3 in here. We've got 2 more, and I'm having a slip of the brain situation. So we've got exercise, we've got diet, we've got sleep. The next one is emotions, okay? This is going to be every day. We'll mention that. And walking, for sure, at a minimum. Ideally more, okay? But minimum 30 minutes walking every day. Ideally elevating something in your exercise levels. Okay, emotions. Do your emotions affect your energy levels? Of course, 100%. You don't think so? Try being in a depression, right? Not fun, not great for performance, etc. So the emotions that we show up with are going to matter a lot. Now, interestingly, these things will affect our emotions, okay? If we have the right nutrition, we have enough water, we are exercising, we're getting enough sleep, and it's good quality sleep, will our emotions be better generally? Yes, absolutely. Is there, do people have, sometimes medical conditions, etc.? Yeah, absolutely. So we have to be aware of those. But our emotions will affect our performance, 100%. If you are stressed, we already mentioned this, your breathing is different, etc. So what can we do? Well, there's things we can do to change our emotions, which is in our section on state, right? One of the things, so I'll just very quickly, physiology is one of Tony Robbins has the 3 things. Matthew Park, who does some of our stuff for us here, my friend from Peak Mindset, he talks about the 5 pillars of state. We'll very quickly talk about 2 with respect to the Tony Robbins thing, okay, which are physiology and focus, okay? So physiology, motion creates emotion, all right? How you move, how your body, etc., affects how you feel. And if you want to change how you feel, you can radically change how your body is, okay? Generally speaking, if somebody is depressed, they will be, and Tony does this little exercise, right? He's like, if somebody's depressed, are they breathing shallow or deep? Typically shallow, right? Is their posture upright like this, or is it down like this? It's down, right? Will they have, will they be smiling or something else? They generally won't be smiling. It's pretty much impossible. This is an interesting thing. They've done some studies on this. If you just look at yourself in a mirror and smile, it's hard to maintain a negative emotional state for an extended period of time. One of the things Tony will do is say, like, look at the ceiling and smile. And so these are how you move your body, how you position your body, etc. will affect how you feel. So take advantage of that. Be like, big, open, sort of thing. Basically, what are you doing? You're opening up your chest, your lungs, etc. You're smiling. That has there's neurotransmitters or whatever. I don't know all the science behind that stuff, but I just know that definitely it does make a difference in terms of how your physiology affects how you feel. What's the second one? Focus. Okay. What you focus on determines in large part how you feel. So this is where we get things like gratitude exercises in the morning. Okay. Get up and say, okay, let's go through things that we're grateful for. And generally do that to depth, right? So if I wake up in the morning and I'm not feeling great, that's one of the things that I do. Now, is it something that you have to do? No, absolutely not. But generally speaking, gratitude is going to improve our emotional state, okay? Because we're focusing on things that are good in our life, right? And so the thing that Tony will say is what you focus on and what does it mean, right? And so if you can focus on something that if you focus on something, I don't know, that's scarcity in your life, right? And it means that you're at risk, that's going to affect how you feel. If you focus on, I don't know, something really great going on in your life, and what it's going to mean is, you're going to have the most amazing time, how's that going to make you feel, right? These things are going to affect how you feel, okay? And the way we change our focus, the fastest way is to ask ourselves different questions. What am I most grateful for today? And then really get into it, right? And experience it with passion. The other thing that they have is, so the Tony one is physiology-focused language, right? So if I speak with passion, that's going to give me a different feeling than if I go, yeah, well, you guys, I'm, this sort of thing, okay? So loud, strong, fast, positive tonality. I'm not suggesting you be crazy positive, by the way. The reality is that pessimism, skepticism, etc. definitely have a place. This positive vibes only thing is a bunch of bullshit. Generally being positive is, overall we want to live in a place that we have mostly a positive emotional state, but it's not appropriate all the time, okay? We shouldn't repress the negative emotions, but we should learn some emotional mastery, okay? So emotions are the next one. And then, which, we'll write here, physiology and focus. And what the heck, language. Okay, so you want to change how your emotional state is, bring that passion to your life rather than being a victim to how you feel. Learn to master your emotions. It was something that I was given a piece of advice by a leadership coach a few years back, and I never understood it at the time. He said, Michael, you control your emotions, you need to learn to master them. And I was like, what is he talking about? It took me years to figure it out. And it was that my tendency for most of my life was to repress my emotions, okay? So what I would do is maybe I'd feel angry and I could control that, right? So okay, I don't let it control me. I control my emotions. Mastery is the ability to get yourself to feel what's useful at that point in time. Okay, so rather than trying to control your emotions, you're choosing what emotion is most serving right now. Okay, and there's times when, being curious is the most effective emotion. Sometimes being certain is the most effective emotion. Sometimes being happy and enthusiastic and pumped is the best emotion. Sometimes being, sad or, whatever, you empathize with somebody is the most effective emotion. So learning to choose it and learning how to do it so that you can choose in the moment. And you know what? There's times when you're down and you're just and it's so hard. So hard, right? So I'm not saying that it's easy or that you can do it all the time, etc., but it's very valuable if we can learn to manage our emotions. If you can learn to manage your emotions or master your emotions and bring a great emotional state to what it is that you're doing, and, go and look up Tony Robbins or go and check out Matthew Park with Peak Mindset. Those would be the two best sources that I can think of. They will absolutely improve your performance. Absolutely. Okay? It will improve your energy. So the last one is timing. What the heck does he mean by timing? Okay? We're going to talk about this more in terms of the section on planning. But what we mean when we say timing is we are talking about your energy levels are going to vary throughout the day. So be aware of how they vary, and then leverage when your energy levels are high to do, the tasks that require that high energy and productivity. And then, there's going to be ebbs and flows. You have like the circadian rhythm, you've got all this different stuff. Pay attention to the timing. Energy will fluctuate with time. It just will. At the end of the day, if you've been going for 18, 20 hours, good chance you're tired, right? So are you going to be as productive at that point in time? No, you're not. So maybe if there's things that are really important, require a lot of concentration, focus, etc., you should choose to do them when your energy levels are high. Okay? So this piece here, like honestly, if you just nail energy, all right, you get your sleep down, you improve your diet, you have the water, nutrition, you exercise, you master your emotions, and then the timing piece, that right there is going to boost your productivity a lot. Okay? If you want support and assistance on this, you're probably best to contact Tony Robbins or Matthew Park or some sort of experts. I'm not the expert on it. I'm kind of the messenger here, bringing you all this research and stuff that's been put out by other people and kind of sizing it down for you very, very quickly. I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.